quantum computing fear is going around at least a little bit. And the ASI Alliance, mainly Fetch AI, is making partnerships left, right, and center and everywhere. We'll look at it and we'll talk about it. Welcome to today's news. How are you all doing, guys? Did you have a great week? Were you scared when Bitcoin dumped? Remember, price never goes up in a straight line. We go up and down, up and down. If dumps like this scare you, better get used to it, because this is just how crypto works, okay? It's just how it will go for about another year. And then at one point, we'll have a dump that we will not recover from, and that's when the bear market starts. But until that happens, this is just normal price fluctuation. It's basically the big guys, retail comes in, retail longs the top, and the big guys take all their money, they sell off, and then the big guys buy in cheaper, and then retail comes back in, buys the top, then the big guys dump all their money out and then buy in cheaper, and this is how it goes. Anyway, let's jump into the first story, and let's look at that crypto stuff a bit later. So, first of all, quantum computing, what's going on there? What is happening? Let's have a look. Let me put myself down here. Meet Willow, our state-of-the-art quantum chip. Here we go. Wasn't here? Anyway, so yeah, new quantum chip from Google. And yeah, errors are one of the greatest challenges in quantum computing. Since qubits, the units of computation in quantum computers, have a tendency to rapidly exchange information with the environment, making it difficult to protect the information needed to complete a computation. Today in Nature, we published results showing that the more qubits we use in Willow, the more we reduce errors. And this is freaking amazing, amazing innovation. And the more quantum the system becomes. We tested ever larger arrays of physical qubits, scaling up from a grid of 3 by 3 encoded qubits to a grid of 5 by 5 to a grid of 7 by 7. And each time, using our latest advances in quantum error correction, we were able to cut the error rate in half. In other words, we achieved an exponential reduction in the error rate. So the bigger it gets, the lesser the errors become. And this is freaking an amazing innovation. Now, and we'll get into that more later, but some people at least are scared, oh, quantum computing could hack blockchain and things like that. And yeah, that's true. If we would have advanced quantum computers, which we are still far from, like this, an amazing innovation, but we are nowhere near advanced quantum computers, okay? That's the first thing we need to understand here. We are nowhere near advanced quantum computers. This is a great step, a great advancement, but there's still quite a ways to go, quite a more improvements that needs to happen. Anyway, even if we would have advanced quantum computers hacking blockchain and hacking Bitcoins, sure, would be possible, but this is the least of our problems if we have advanced quantum computers. Just think about it logically for just 1 second. What is blockchain? It is an advanced encryption. What is everything in the internet? An encryption. Your passwords, bank accounts. If we would have quantum computers that can hack into blockchain, they also can hack into everything else, into every bank, into every password, everywhere where there's money. So yeah, sure, it might be an issue for blockchain, but it is an issue for everything in the entire world, on the entire planet, okay? So yeah, we'll have other issues, like blockchain is the last thing we think about, because nothing is secure anymore when quantum computers can hack into that stuff. Unless, of course, we develop quantum encoding, which obviously is developed in parallel with quantum computing. So as soon as quantum computing reaches a level where it can hack into stuff, all the stuff will be protected by quantum encoding, okay? So there's really nothing to worry about. Maybe there's a small phase at one point where everything is a little bit crazy and quantum computers can do crazy stuff and hack into things because the level up of the technology doesn't reach that fast. But ultimately, right, we just need to change to another form of encoding then when that happens. Anyway, let's continue with this here. It's a strong sign that useful, very large quantum computers can indeed be built, right? So just what I said before, we are still far from large useful quantum computers. This is just a chip, okay, one chip. But it's a sign that these computers can actually be built, which was not, I mean, sure, you can imagine it, you can build it, but it was still very far. We have come a step closer now. Willow brings us closer to running practical, commercially relevant algorithms that can't be replicated on conventional computers, right? For now, what quantum computers could do so far is that they can do stuff that normal computers can do anyway. They just do it worse, right? This is what quantum computers are doing so far, up until now. Well, roughly, right? There are a few things. Let's get into that. So RCS is a classical hardest benchmark that can be done on a quantum computer today. You can think of this as an entry point for quantum computing. It checks whether a quantum computer is doing something that couldn't be done on a classical computer, right? Because if a quantum computer just does stuff that a normal classical computer can do, then there's no need to use a quantum computer, because you can just do it with a normal regular computer that is much cheaper, much less prone for errors, faster, and much smaller. Like you can have it in your home, and you don't have a big cooling stuff that is basically large as the earliest computers back in the day. So yeah, this benchmark, the RCS, is basically a test for quantum computers, that quantum computers can, if a quantum computer can solve that, it proves that this is actually something that a quantum computer can do that a normal computer cannot do. But reading further, this RCS is nothing useful. It's just a benchmark. So Willow's performance on this benchmark is astonishing. It performed a computation in under 5 minutes that would take one of today's fastest supercomputers 10 to the power of 25 or 10 septillion years, which is longer than the universe existed. A quantum computer could solve that under 5 minutes. And now people are going crazy and screaming, oh God, quantum computers are here. Oh no, they can solve that. We are doomed. Crypto is going to zero. The world is over. Chill out, guys. This has been solved before, okay? This exact benchmark has been solved before, okay? There are already quantum computers, quantum processors that have solved this benchmark before, okay? So chill out. The point is, this benchmark is not necessarily useful, and I think I talk more about this down here. Where was it? Yeah, we'll get into that in just a second. With 105 qubits, Willow now has best-in-class performance across the two system benchmarks discussed above: quantum error correction and random circuit sampling. So this is the quantum error correction, is where you scale it up and the errors get less instead of more, which is amazing. And then the random circuit sampling is they have solved this issue here now that we just talked about in 5 minutes, which is fastest. So here's a quick graph on that. But you see, it has been solved before, right? All these dots have solved that. But here, this green dot has solved it now the fastest. Good. The next challenge for the field is to demonstrate, and here's the important point, the first useful beyond classical computation on today's quantum chips that is relevant to real-world applications, okay? This benchmark is not relevant to real-world applications. It's just a benchmark. We are optimistic that the Willow generation of chips can help us achieve this goal. We have run the RCS benchmark, which measures performance against classical computers, but has no known real-world application. Again, it's just a benchmark. It's not actually useful or has any applications. It's just a benchmark because it is something that normal computers cannot do, but quantum computers can do. So this really just is there to figure out if the quantum computer could be actually useful. Because if you build a quantum computer that cannot solve this, you might as well just let it be, because your quantum computer needs to be able to do something that normal computers cannot, right? And this benchmark is just to prove that your quantum computer can solve something that normal computers cannot solve. But it has no actual relevance as to solving actual issues in the real world, right? So we are still far from that. So on the other hand, we have done scientifically interesting simulations of quantum systems which have led to new scientific discoveries, but are still within the reach of classical computers. So as of today, even with this Willow breakthrough, and it is an amazing breakthrough, quantum computers still have not done a single thing that is useful that normal computers cannot do. Okay? We still haven't progressed beyond this point, right? Normal computers doing everything computational that is useful. Quantum computers have not done any step above that. Quantum computers have not done anything that is useful in the real world that normal computers cannot do as well. They have solved this test, this RCS test, but it's really just a benchmark that has no real-world applications. So again, we are still far from quantum computers being commercial. Commercially is very, very far, but just generally useful to do stuff, okay? So no, a quantum computer will not hack your blockchain secured wallet anytime soon. And even if that happens, even if quantum computers are at the stage where they can hack your where they can hack your blockchain secured wallet, it doesn't really matter because they could also hack everything else, right? They could hack your bank account, but they would not care about your bank account because they would say there's probably not that much money in there, no offense, but they would hack, I don't know, the largest bank in the world and the people with the most money in the world. Because again, a quantum computer that can hack into blockchain can hack into everything else. Every bank, every password, every encrypted file on the internet. Okay, so this is really not a blockchain-specific issue. So all this FUD around, oh God, quantum computing will solve blockchain. Oh no, does not make any sense. Because if we have quantum computing, nothing is safe. Nothing that is not quantum secured, which is simultaneously being worked on. So the old technology will get upgraded as new technology comes along. That's just the way things always have been. So generally, the statement is, guys, there's nothing to worry about. First of all, we are very far from having quantum computers. We are very far from having quantum computers that have any useful real-world applications. And if quantum computers can do this stuff, they can hack everything. But simultaneously to quantum computing advancements, we also have security advancements. Long story short, that's basically it. So from now on, whenever you hear anything about quantum computing FUD, keep that in mind. Nothing to worry about. And blockchain is the least we should worry about. Worry about your bank account first. If you're still, like, I know there are a few people that are unbanked, which is wild. I don't know if any of you are here. If you are unbanked, leave a comment or tell me in the chat. But that's basically the story about quantum computing. Amazing advancement. I love it. Quantum computing could also play a major role. They talk about this a little bit down here, but not too in depth, so we don't have to go through it. But quantum computers could also play a major role in AI advancements. We had talked about this on the stream a few months ago. A few months ago, we talked about that the human brain likely works through quantum mechanics. There are likely quantum mechanics involved in how the human brain functions, or how brain function in general. So in terms of AI advancements, quantum computing would be amazing to actually bring us closer to AGI, which is what we all are patiently waiting for. All right. Are you worried about quantum computers hacking into your wallet? Have you fallen into the quantum computing FUD? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. And hi there, Judy. Great to see you here. Thank you for your message. And hi there, everybody else. Where are you, Carlo? Are you here? Also, I am missing a few people. I am missing Nani. Nani, I haven't seen you in ages. So if you watch the stream, leave a comment. Let me know that you're still alive. And there were more people. Brandon from, where was he from, man? Ireland? Scotland? somewhere like that. I'm sorry, I forgot. But Brandon, if you are still alive, also let me know in a comment or in the chat. All right. Anyway, let's move on here. So yeah, Fetch AI partnerships left, right, and center. Let's go through a few of these. And we talk about partnerships every single stream, and I don't even mention all of the partnerships, so there are a lot. So Nuclei, I don't know how to pronounce this. Anyway, Nuclei joins Fetch AI Foundation, integrates autonomous agent technology. Through this integration, structured data sets will be available on Fetch AI's open marketplace for autonomous agents, enabling seamless connections and communication between data sets and AI models. So obviously in the ASI Alliance, we have oceans for data, but one thing we need to understand is when it comes to AI and developing advanced AI models, you can never have enough data, okay? Actually, I should rephrase that. You can never have enough high-quality data, because low-quality data, no one cares about that. Low-quality data, language models, large language models such as ChatGPT, they're just being fed with all the data that you can possibly get. If you watch my video about small language models, there I talk further about how high-quality data sets enable you to have a much powerful model that is much smaller than bigger ones. So you have small language models that can rival big models just because the data set is high quality. So yeah, you can never have enough data sets. So this is why this partnership is amazing. More data means more advanced and faster advancing AI. So goals that this foundation that this collaboration has. Accelerated AI Web3 integration by merging AI capabilities with decentralized systems. Nuclei and Fetch AI are fostering a new generation of interoperable technologies. Empower data sovereignty. Organizations and individuals will benefit from greater control over their data, enabling secure and ethical use. And this is one of the big things in the age of AI advancements. Ethical use. Obviously, security is one of the biggest things overall, but ethical use is also big. Like a few weeks ago, or months maybe, we talked about the whole stuff that's going on with Adobe and also OpenAI and the lawsuits that they have because they just get data from sources that they did not pay for. They just take it and build it into their models. So we really want to think about ethical use and proper compensation for giving data to models. Yeah, we don't need to go through all of this here. I just want to mention the partnership. Pretty cool. More data, faster advancing, and better working AI. But there's more. Another partnership, which is this one here. C4E. Breaking news. C4E powered with Fetch AI agents. The future of decentralized AI energy begins now. So C4E is basically a community-driven energy ecosystem. So C4E, community for energy. Actually, it's chain for energy. I'm sorry. I just made a fool of myself. Anyway, it's about, I have not looked too much into it, but it's an energy ecosystem. Likely it will work in a way where Fetch AI agents lead the energy where it will be used most efficiently. Something like that. Our products will now be powered by Fetch AI's cutting-edge autonomous AI agents and technology, confirmed during Berlin Fetch AI Foundation meeting. And I wasn't there. It was in Germany. I didn't even know that this existed, man. I should be at a conference when it is in Germany. Anyway, the future is here. What does it mean? Smarter, more efficient, cost-effective energy management powered by AI. Seamless automation for cooperative and individuals alike. A leap towards sustainable AI-powered energy systems. This milestone brings us closer to our vision. Energy as a shared value for everyone by everyone. Right? Sounds pretty cool. But there's more. So we'll jump into that in just a second. But again, there are partnerships left, right, and center everywhere. Not just partnerships in Web3, but also partnerships in the normal economy. And we talk about this all the time, but there are quite a few people here on the stream. Don't forget to hit the like button, shout out to all of you, but we really need to mention it another time. The ASI Alliance has an absolutely amazing foundation. What they are building there is not just Web3 hype, right? Most crypto projects are focused on Web3 hype money coming in, so their token goes up, and then they can sell the token that went up to have an income stream, to have revenue and continue building. Now, the ASI Alliance has actual revenue streams in the real-world economy, which they're also building with their new foundational AI models, including Cortex, which will be the first foundational AI model that works in robotic applications. I will bring out the video about Cortex shortly, maybe this week, maybe next week. Around Christmas, cut me some slack, okay? I am a bit slower with the new videos. But yeah, the ASI Alliance is working on actual revenue streams in the real-world economy, actually creating value in the economy. So that means they have money coming in, even when the token goes down, and they don't need to sell the token to get money or any of that nonsense. In fact, the token will become deflationary. With the revenue streams that they create, they will buy back the token, and then they will burn the token, a percentage from the revenue streams they create, and they will give back to the communities. So this is absolutely amazing foundations, and the way it looks like is that the ASI Alliance has an amazing future. And this is also what could lead to a little bit of a decoupling from Bitcoin. Because why is the AI market pegged to Bitcoin? Why does everything follow Bitcoin to a T? Because none of this has its own valuable use case outside of Web3. Sure, there are some projects who are working on that, like VeChain, for example, but it's not that sophisticated yet. The ASI Alliance is very, very close to that, to having their own valuable use case outside of Web3. So probably marching into 2025, we'll not just need to look at the Bitcoin chart when thinking about the ASI Alliance, but we'll also need to look at, what would we look at? Probably the NVIDIA chart. NVIDIA is probably a good chart to look at as well, because NVIDIA basically provides the shovels for the gold rush, right? They provide the chips for the AI advancements and developments. And other AI projects in crypto are doing the same. For example, Tau. Tau is also an amazing project, but it's not as advanced as the ASI Alliance yet in terms of actual real-world value. All right, I just wanted to mention that. And this is also why we see partnerships left, right, and center and everywhere, because big companies see the value that the ASI Alliance is providing. I know there are many moon boys who spread FUD and who cry in the comments on X, ooh, scam! Oh, where the token gets diluted and all of that stuff. Don't listen to it. These guys have no idea, no freaking clue what they are talking about, right? Not a single clue. Look at what big companies are doing, and big companies are partnering with Fed. Why do you think that is? Obviously, because of the amazing foundations. All right. But back to where I was, but there's more. Good. Let's jump into the next thing. Here we go. So there are not just partnerships in Web3, there are also partnerships with universities and research. I will not play this video because it has music in the background, and I don't know if this is copyrighted, but AI agents are no longer just a concept. They are actively reshaping industries by automating decision-making, optimizing processes, and enabling seamless integrations in decentralized environments. Last month, Fetch AI partnered with King's eLab and Cambridge Frontier Technologies Laboratory and Scale University of Cambridge, Supply Chain AI Lab, Cambridge Uni, to explore these advancements. Right? So yeah, partnerships with Cambridge University. And not just Cambridge, there are also other partnerships with other universities. There's for sure a partnership with the, what was it? With a German university. I'm not sure if it was a university in Essen, but it was definitely a German university as well. So yeah, you see partnerships in Web3, you see partnerships in research universities, and you see partnerships in actual economy and the real world industries, right? But there's more. Yes, there's again partnerships left, right, and center. So let's jump into this one here. So Mobiic AI, get ready for the electric revolution of 2025. As millions of electric vehicles hit the roads, the demand for charging stations soar. With Mobiic's AI leveraging Fetch AI agents, never worry about finding a charger again. We've got you covered where you need it. So yeah, another partnership, but there's more. Now, I don't have prepared anything more because this is enough for now for partnerships, okay? We don't need to go into even more, but there is more. There are more partnerships, not just of Fetch AI, but also of Singularity Net, of Ocean, and of all the other companies that are under the umbrella of the ASI Alliance, namely Hypercycle, Nunet. Nunet actually had like also a couple of partnerships announcements this week. If I could cover this whole stream just talking about the newest partnerships from this past week, and I could do this almost every stream. So it's crazy what's going on there. And if you see something like this, like partnerships every week, multiple ones, you can be sure something big is coming, right? So don't sleep on the ASI Alliance. All right, let me catch my breath. Good. Oh yeah, this one here is also nice. You remember how we talked about the ring, the Hypercycle ring for payments and stuff? Last session, we'll talk about it some more because it's not just for payments, it's for security in general. And this makes me definitely more interested, even more interested in that ring. So Gmail takeover hack attack. Here's how you can prevent it. I don't know if you've heard it, but there was a huge hack on Gmails. Maybe look if you have been compromised. But yeah, what if I told you there's an incredibly simple way to ensure no one else can access your account? Imagine having an object that acts as a physical key to a digital door lock, so that even if a hacker gains access to your password, they still cannot log in because they don't have the physical object. That simple but powerful premise behind the hyperring. It emits a signal when you tap it on a smartphone. The signal cannot be digitally replicated by anyone else remotely. This means that without the physical ring, even the most skilled hacker cannot bypass the security test from Gmail or any app web service that you use. That requires a tap of the hyperring as proof of identity. So this is pretty cool. Let me know in the comments. Does that sound interesting for you? Does it sound like you would get a hyperring at one point? It basically works with an NFC, right? With an NFC chip, and that NFC chip has a longer lifetime than a human, so you don't need to charge it. It's battery free, and it's just a ring that you have on your finger, and you tap it to basically give permission for everything, for payments, to log into your account, to log into your wallet, whatever it is. And you need this physical object. So you basically cannot be hacked. Does that sound like something you would be interested in having at one point? Let me know in the chat, or let me know in the comments. But another thing that we should mention here is when we look at that, now it's pretty cool, and maybe some people like rings, who knows. But what we see here is what we have seen with the ASI Alliance overall. Again, this is Hypercycle, so it's under the umbrella of the ASI Alliance, which is creating things that will be bought in the real world economy, making a real world revenue stream. So not as big and cool as the foundational AI models of the ASI Alliance, but still it goes in the right direction. So that's pretty cool. Good. Moving on into this here. OpenAI's O1 model doesn't show its thinking, giving open source an advantage. And before we jump deeper into this is just a quick article, but as we've talked about before on this channel, the O1 reasoner model of OpenAI, sure, it's great. It's amazing when it comes to thinking about its own output, which makes it good when it comes to mathematical problems and coding, because it looks over the things and thinks about it and refines it. But the O1 model is not, in my opinion, that is not a reasoner. It is an LLM, it is a large language model that is better at reasoning, but it's not a reasoner in the sense that it reasons from an actual understanding of what the world is and how the world works. Okay, it doesn't understand what the world is. It doesn't understand physics. It doesn't really understand how the world works. So it doesn't reason from a foundation of an internal world model. It just uses chain of thought prompting to go over its output a few more times. Again, which is great, which makes it better at coding, at maths, and for a lot of applications. But, and this is the most important point here, it does not bring us closer in terms of AGI advancement. And this is a big selling point that OpenAI tries to sell, but it just doesn't. So when we look into this, models like O1 sometimes referred to as large reasoning models. Large reasoning models, my God, where are this is just, and this is exactly what I just said, large reasoning models. It is not a reasoning model. It is a language model that is better at reasoning. This is just marketing stupidity. It's not a reasoning model. It has no idea how physics work beyond the words that it knows. It has no idea how the world actually works. It just reasons based on chain of thought prompting. It is a language model that is better at reasoning, but definitely not a reasoning model. Anyway, these models use extra inference, time compute cycles to think more, review their responses, and correct their answers. Again, and this makes them good at math and coding. This enables them to solve complex reasoning problems that classic LLMs struggle with, and make them especially useful for tasks such as coding, maths, and data analysis. Just as I said. Some have posted examples of O1 accomplishing incredible tasks, while others have expressed frustration. Oh, I wonder why that is. Maybe because it's not a reasoner? Maybe because it doesn't have an understanding of the actual real world? Yeah, I think I have driven my point home. Over the model's confusing responses. Developers have experienced all kinds of problems, from making illogical changes to code or ignoring instructions. Oh, I wonder why that is. But yeah, I think I have drawn that point out enough now. The cost of training new models continue to grow, and profit margins are not keeping pace, which is pushing some AI labs to become more secretive in order to extend their lead. And I see this ending into maybe some form of a small crash of AI. I'll talk a little bit more about that in the Cortex video that is coming out, because this is a danger that I see on the horizon. Maybe not big, but definitely small, because there's just too much hype, man. People are too hyped. The promises are too big. AGI in 1 year, AGI in 2 years. AI is going to take over, and they just cannot deliver. Right? It's just marginal improvement after marginal improvement after marginal improvement since about 1.5 years. Like, we had no real big leap since about 1.5 years. Sure, models are slowly getting better, but there are no it's hyped up too much. And when it's hyped up too much, and especially the people with big money don't give big money anymore because it's too hyped up and the companies don't deliver, everything crashes. Anyway, just a thought. Doesn't have to happen. It's just a potential danger of the AI hype. On the other hand, open source alternatives such as Alibaba's Qwen with questions And Marco 01 shows a full reasoning chain of their model. So OpenAI doesn't show anything, but they show the full reasoning chain. Another alternative is DeepSeek R1, which is not open source, but still reveals the reasoning tokens. Seeing the reasoning chain enables developers to troubleshoot their prompts and find ways to improve the model's responses by adding additional instructions or in-context examples. Visibility into the reasoning process is especially important when you want to integrate the model's responses into applications and tools that expect consistent results. Right? If you have no idea what is going on, you cannot really implement that for anything where you expect consistent results because you don't know what's going on behind the curtain. Moreover, having control over the underlying model is important in enterprise applications. Yeah, I just see an OpenAI, again, they have everything behind a secret wall that they let no one peek behind. It's their secret sauce, and this will not hold up any longer. Okay, open source is catching up, and open source is catching up quickly. So the way this will look like in the future, and this is what I just believe, obviously I have no idea what's going to happen, but I believe this is going to look like this. Companies have the lead, right? Like OpenAI. They have the lead, they develop their secret stuff, they don't share it, and open source community just keeps building and sharing. They share with one another. All open source communities all around the globe keep sharing and building upon one another. And inevitably, this leads to much more innovation and much more progression than the secretive companies can do. Obviously, then the secretive companies can take from here and build their own secrets on top of that. But it just is not sustainable because open source will just catch on quickly. Why? Because on the one hand, you have one company that develops in secret, and on the other hand, you have the open source community of the entire globe, with every single human being able to contribute to this pool of knowledge. And this is a massive, massive opportunity for faster advancements. So in my opinion, open source is catching up, and open source will outshine closed source very, very quickly in the near future. And this, by the way, is something that Facebook or Meta has also said since the beginning, hence why the Llama models are all open source, because they also see it happening. So yeah, maybe I'm not that stupid because other people think what I think. Yeah, maybe. Good. Anyway, so the gist of this article, open source model catch up and can reason as well. They are not reasoners, but they are models better at reasoning. All right. Another thing that I just want to share with you real quick is that if you use X, first of all, obviously follow me. If you are not following me on X, what are you doing? I know, okay? I know some of you now think, why, Philip, come on, you don't post anything on X. And yeah, it's true, I don't post much on X, but sometimes I do. And when I do, I'm sure you want to read it. So follow me. Just please. Okay, anyway, but yeah, what I want to show you with you is that everybody can now use Grok. You don't need to be a premium user anymore. Everybody can just go here, click on Grok, and then you can use Grok with an X. Hi, right? And Grok can also create images. Please create a picture of yourself. Oh, I hope this doesn't take too long. Good, anyway, but yeah, you can head over, you can use Grok, everybody can use Grok, you can create images with Grok. Yeah, pretty cool. I believe you have like 20 prompts every 2 hours or something like that. Anyway, I'll go off here now, and if it creates an image, I will show you. But yeah, you can use Grok if you want to. Obviously, you need an X account for that. So if there was ever a good reason to get an X account to follow me, this is the reason. Go get an X account so you can use Grok. And anyway, I have to be real with you here. If you are interested in AI and crypto and you don't have an X account, I don't know what's wrong with you. No offense to anybody, okay? But this is where it's at, right? The latest advancements and developments and the newest information of AI and crypto is on X, right? The hottest information you will find on X. This is a platform where you need to be if you're interested in this stuff. Or of course my channel, right? If you are too late, maybe that's why you are here and watching my channel, because you are too lazy to get an X account yourself and you just want the source right here. All right, good. That was it with the stories for today. If you are still here, don't forget to hit the like button. We'll jump into Bitcoin now. Look at Bitcoin. Maybe from next year on, we'll also look into NVIDIA chart, because I believe NVIDIA is probably a good benchmark when looking at AI overall, because AI catapulted NVIDIA to one of the strongest 3 companies in the world, because, well, it's all about chips and compute. So, yep. There was talk of Microsoft buying BTC. Would it not be more beneficial for them to invest in FBT? Yeah, and they voted against it. Maybe I could have mentioned that. Yeah, Microsoft voted against buying Bitcoin, right? Stupid idiots. Who said that? Anyway, I mean, you can be pretty sure that probably every guy in the board has Bitcoin, but they just voted against it as a company. And this is something we want to understand as well. How the bull run works. Okay, you will have FUD everywhere, and FUD will be used. FUD, short for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. For example, Microsoft saying, no, we don't want Bitcoin after all, and this will be used to drive the price down. For example, Elon Musk last cycle. Yes, Tesla accepts Bitcoin. No, Tesla doesn't accept Bitcoin anymore. What happened here? Yes, Tesla accepts Bitcoin. Retail goes in, retail buys Bitcoin, right? On the top, let's say 60K Bitcoin, retail of 50K Bitcoin last cycle. Retail buys the green breakout because Tesla accepts Bitcoin. And what happens now? What happens now is the following. Elon Musk announced, oh, by the way, we don't accept Bitcoin anymore. Energy consumption is too much. And all the big guys sell their Bitcoin. So the price goes down and all the big guys sell in profit. And the retail investors are fearful it goes down and they sell at a loss because they buy it at the top and now they sell at the dip. And then the next bullish scenario comes out. And I don't know, another person announces, yes, Bitcoin is great after all. Jim Cramer says Bitcoin is a good investment. Right? And the retail investor buys the top again, and then the big guys or dump on the retail investor again. And this is just how the cycle fluctuates. So we will see FUD. Don't be fearful when FUD comes along, okay? It's part of the cycle. It's part of the fluctuations of retail selling the top, retail buying the top, selling the bottom, the big guys selling the top, buying the bottom. So that's why it's so important. We are in a bull cycle. We are in a bull run. Obviously, it can always go down to zero tomorrow. Not financial advice, what I say here, do your own research. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But if you have the assumption that we are in a bull run now, don't be fearful and always buy the dip, right? The dip that happened in the beginning of this week, be honest with yourself. Were you fearful? Did you have doubts? Did you think, oh God, maybe we go down now after all? This is what they want you to think. So you sell. So you sell at a loss, so they can buy in and then sell at you when you buy them back at the top. Good. Your question was about Fed, and of course it would make much more sense for Microsoft to invest into Fed because it is aligned with what they are doing. I have no idea if, Fed probably is on Microsoft's radar. It probably is on the radar of the bigger companies because Fed is really making waves. So we'll see what happens there the next year, especially once they have out their foundational models and use real-world applications. So when something happens there, I'll definitely keep you updated on that. But yeah, in terms of alignment, it definitely would make more sense for them to invest into Fed. Bitcoin was right. Investing into Fed would be investing into the company, which would make sense. Just like they invested in OpenAI, Bitcoin would have been basically just as part of their treasury, right? So as a company, you have your treasury where you hold, I don't know, you hold maybe some ETFs, whatever it is, and maybe gold and maybe Bitcoin as well. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Good. Let's jump into the chart now. And by the way, Steve bro, I see you on here all the time as well. So I'll just make you a mod right now because I see you on here all the time. Don't have to do anything, but just as an appreciation that you are here all the time. You are a mod now. Happy to have you on my channel. All right, good. So Bitcoin monthly. All right. Don't worry about my green and yellow horizontal lines. So what we have looked at, right? You all still know what the yellow lines mean, right? This is our prediction for the end of the cycle, somewhere between 1st of September and 1st of December next year is likely going to be the top of this current bull run. What we did here, for everybody who hasn't seen it, we looked at history. How many days from the halving did it take till Bitcoin peaked, right? And then we did the same here. We took from the halving around 600 days, which takes into account that cycles get a little bit longer, as you can see here, from 518 to 549 to 609. So yeah, around about that time is likely where we have the peak of this bull run. Obviously, not financial advice, anything can happen, but based on what we know, based on history, this is where we likely have the top for our bull run. Good. Yeah, but let's talk about dips and FUD, and actually let's go into a different chart here. Binance. Let's use the Binance chart. So we don't need moving averages. We don't need the days. One thing that we have looked at, actually let's go into the daily first, that we have looked at quite a while is that Bitcoin moves in ranges, okay? So as we have been here, Bitcoin has been in this range. You see that? And this range just gets a little bit bigger, right? So here the range was that big, then this week came, so the range gets a little bit bigger, but it's really this range here. Similar with this one here. And as you can see, Bitcoin ranges, moves up, and then ranges again. And what are we doing right now, right here? We moved up, oops, we moved up, and we range again. This is just how Bitcoin moves. We don't dip, we just range. And right now, we are in this range here, right? And we are just ranging. And we are ranging until we are not. We might get a dip here, who knows, but this would just make our range larger, just like this dip right here made our range larger, right? And this is so important to understand because this dip right here, and this also, when you're on Twitter, sentiment. You want to see sentiment on Twitter. And all of Twitter was freaking suicidal on this dip. Oh God, all my savings are gone, bull run over, market crash, black swan event. It's just a freaking dip. We didn't even leave the range. We just made our range a little bit bigger. And what happens in these dips, and we talked about this before, we liquidate stop losses because everybody being long off of this bull flag has their stop losses right under here. Boop, liquidated. This is a market maker coming for your money. This is, and by the way, huge shout out, like every time, to Crypto Life Events in 99. If you want to learn this stuff, if you want to learn how to trade properly, join the 99. Never ever leverage trade if you don't know what you're doing, or in general, if you have no idea what you're doing. But if you want to learn this, Crypto Life Events 99, best crypto community, best community overall, really, that I've ever been in. Good. So what we are doing here is we are ranging. And this here, man, people were going crazy as we dipped down here. Like, and this is why I would also recommend you to join Twitter, because people on Twitter, when people on Twitter go absolutely nuts and call for, oh God, bear market, we are going down, I'm going to sell everything, I am liquidated, black swan event, Bitcoin is over, Bitcoin is going to zero. If you read that on Twitter, it's a good indicator that you probably should go long. Right? Use sentiment as a reverse indicator. If the market makes you feel fearful, you should go long. If you feel greedy, you should go short. Right up here, this here. Oh yeah, we pierced 100K, we are at 103K now. Bitcoin is going to the moon, going bananas, it will never come back. And what happens? It reverses immediately and goes down here. We need to understand that the market is designed to wreck you. It is designed to rob you of all of your money, okay? And let me say this into your eye, because this is so crucial. If you want to make money in crypto, you need to understand that it's designed to play with your emotions. It is designed to rob you, right? It works backwards. When you feel fearful, you should likely buy, not financial advice, do your own research. And when you feel greedy and hyped up on goofballs, you should likely take profits. And just look at how well this would have worked out here, right? Take profits right here when you feel greedy. Oh yeah, we're going to 1 million for sure. And then buy back in down here. When you feel fearful, oh God, we are going down, Bitcoin is going to zero. This is how this market works, okay? Because this is how the market maker robs you of all of your money. And I really need you to understand that, because I don't want anyone on this channel to get wrecked, okay? So what do you do? And this is a test, and you will get a grade for this test. I want your answer in the comment. What do you do right now as it's going back up and you feel like, oh yeah, man, we are going back up, here we go. What should you do? Let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments, what should you do right now? Did you pay attention? You either take profits or you just hold, okay? I'm not taking profits yet. I've taken some profits here on some projects, but yeah, you take profits or you hold, but you don't. Under no circumstances do you buy here. This is a no buy zone, okay? If you buy here, you're doing it wrong. You buy down here. This is where you buy. You might miss a move. Sure, that does happen. Of course, it happens to all of us. We all miss a move where it goes up and then it just continues going up, right? For example, right here, where it goes up. And then here you say, oh no, we have gone up now, so I will not buy, I will hodl. And yes, sure, if you would have bought here, you would have been up and you would have made more money. But if we look at this, this is just a tiny portion of the times that this happens when Bitcoin is actually leaving the range, okay? But most of the time, if you buy at such a point, you will have drawdown, okay? So generally, when it goes up, you hodl or you take profits, right? You buy down here when you're fearful, when it feels like, oh God, we are going to zero, when it feels like, oh no, everything is over, then you want to buy. When it feels like, oh God, bear market is on, when all of Twitter is suicidal, when the emotions are crazy strong and everybody on Twitter is screaming, oh no, black swan, that's when you want to buy, right? There's this quote, everybody of you knows this quote, but it goes like this: you want to buy when blood is in the streets, something like that. When blood is in the streets, that's a good time to buy. Don't buy here. No buy zone. No buy zone. Okay? Do yourself a favor. Buy on dips, please. All right. Good. And this is the point that I really, really wanted to drive home today. Because this wrecks everyone in crypto. I haven't bought since 28K. You are a legend, man. You are a legend. But please do me a solid here and don't write that Bitcoin price from the highs of this bull run all the way back down. Take some profits, right? Maybe not yet. We still have, as we have just seen, way more way to go. But at one point, you probably want to take some profits and not write everything back down. Because when we are at the top, and we still have more room to go, so not yet. And again, this is not financial advice, but this is how I would do it. When we are at the top, or when I would assume, okay, we are at the top now, you take some profits, and then you wait till the bear market so you can get more Bitcoin, even more Bitcoin. And please, everybody who doesn't have their emotions dialed in, who cannot handle their emotions, just don't look at the chart. Just don't look at the charts. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it goes up or down or left or right or sideways. Okay? We are not at the top yet. Not financial advice. Again, do your own research. Everything could happen. But based on history, based on everything we can assume so far, we have still about a year to go, 10 to 12 months to go till we are at this cycle's top. And up until then, who cares what the price does? Who cares if your portfolio is down at 20,000 and then up 50,000 and then down 30,000 again? This is just how crypto goes, okay? You really, really need to get your emotions dialed in here because this is how everybody gets wrecked. It goes down, you get fearful, you sell because you want to keep at least some profits, and then it goes back up again. And you get greedy and you feel like, oh, damn, I'm going to miss out on the boat. And you buy back in when it goes up. And what happens next? It goes down again, right? It usually always goes exactly down when you buy. Why? It's not that they observe you. The market is not, they don't spy on you, but the market is just designed that way. It plays with your emotions. And we all have these emotions. That's why it feels like the market is coming specifically for you and it goes down once you buy. Because you buy when you're greedy. And this is when the market just goes down and punches you in your face. So reverse that, okay? Reverse that. If you have troubles with doing that, there are, again, a few good indicators. First indicator, Twitter. If people are suicidal on Twitter, if they cry about bear market, this is probably a good time to buy. Next good indicator, fear and greed index. When the greed is very, very high at like 90, something like that, it's probably a good time to hodl or take profits. Another great indicator, Jim Cramer. If Jim Cramer tells you to buy, you should definitely sell. If Jim Cramer tells you to sell, you should definitely buy. And this is almost financial advice, okay? But not really. All right. Good. I hope you all got that. If you watch this channel, you have no business getting wrecked, okay? Please, don't do that to yourself. If you have any questions, you can also reach out to me on Twitter. I know a few of you are talking to me on Twitter sometimes. I always appreciate that. I will answer as soon as I see your message. And aside from that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. And I'll see all of you next Wednesday for the next update. Have a great rest of your evening. See you guys.